Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with former world heavyweight champion Joe Parker. On a resurgence, Joe Parker. Joe, how's life?
Life is fantastic. Life is good.
Good to hear you doing well. Just seen some snaps of you in the gym. It looks like you're putting on some muscle there in preparation for a fight. We've got a fight date announced soon.
No fight date, no opponent. We're just building away while we wait for what's next. I'm working very hard in New Zealand with George Lockhart and enjoying it. Enjoying time off, enjoying building, and can't wait for what's next.
I just wonder if it's a little bit frustrating because you keep proving yourself against these really good fighters. You've been one who's been very much known for not really too fussed about who the opponent is. You'll take on all comers. You've defeated Wilder, you've defeated Zhang, but we're still waiting for a big opportunity for yourself. Is that a little bit frustrating on your end?
Nah, listen, I'm happy. I'm happy, and whatever fight comes next, I'll take it. And but at the moment, I'm just enjoying time at home with the family, and whatever happens, happens. I had some good wins over Zhang and Wilder, and whatever's next, I'll be ready for it.
With that said, then, I was quite surprised that whilst you were on the DAZN broadcast for Fury Usyk, when Caballel defeated Frank Sanchez, there's a lot of discussion in the panel surrounding you and Ajit Caballel. And I thought maybe you'd be looking, whilst you said you'd take on the fight and your friends, but you'd be open to that. But I thought maybe you'd look higher up the chain considering the wins that you had. So does Caballel factor as high in your thoughts for a potential fight?
I think Caballel has come off two good wins, which wins that he wasn't expected to win those fights. I would fight anyone in the top 5 in the world, but it's like, who's available? I'm not too sure.
Fair enough, Joe. A waiting game for yourself, but I imagine with that, the likes of Anti-Joshua specifically, a rematch with him is high up on your priority list.
That'll be awesome. I think we're two totally different fighters from when we fought each other in 2018. But I think there's another fight lined up for him, so I'm not too sure on that as well.
What do you put down to your successes recently? What would you say are the main differences between yourself, who maybe didn't get those wins beforehand and now is getting those victories?
I put it down to hard work and also linking up with the right people in the camp. I got George Lockhart, who I think is the best in the world in what he does. Strength and conditioning, nutrition, recovery, and then I got Andy Lee, who I think is the best trainer in the world as well. So those two guys together and myself, we make a great team.
Now, Joe, I would like to get your thoughts on having had a chance to catch up with you since Fury versus Usyk happened. Usyk was crowned undisputed heavyweight champion. Just looking back on that fight, your thoughts on the fight between the two?
I thought it was a great fight to finish the event off with, and both guys had their moments in the fight. But I think that 9th round really did give the fight more towards Usyk in that 9th round. I think that was the difference.
What were you thinking during that round 9, seeing Tyson in such dire straits?
Listen, when you watch someone that you're close with, it's quite hard to watch. It's like, and you just. But he found a way to get up and carry on, and showed the heart of a champion.
Have you spoke to Fury recently or since, and what's his mind like heading into the rematch?
Us fighters, you're always going to be confident in yourself no matter what. He's in good spirits. He's spending good time with his family, much needed time with his wife and kids, and he'll be preparing very well for December, and I think he's going to be able to come back and take care of business.
There's been quite a bit of fallout surrounding the corner and a lot of voices in the corner giving Fury the messages. Have you seen that conversation happening online, and what is your thoughts on the corner work in that undisputed fight?
I think just emotions. Emotions are high. Everyone wants him to be the best and to win. And it's one of those things where everyone just trying to buzz him up,
How do you like your corners?
I got Andy Lee, one voice, and that works for me. One clear voice.
Heading into that rematch December 21st, what do you think Fury has to do to adjust to get the victory?
He was boxing very well. I think maybe a bit more pressure from his side and push Usyk back a bit. But he'll come up with a plan. He'll come up with a way to approach to the rematch, and I feel he can take care of business at the end of the year.
There was those 3 rounds, I think it was 4, 5, and 6, where Fury seemed to really press on the gas and had Usyk in a lot of trouble as well too. Do you feel that's the game plan heading into the rematch for Fury's success?
I'm not too sure how the rematch will go. Listen, I fully believe Tyson will come out and win the rematch, but I'm not too sure what his game plan will be or how he'll approach this fight.
Would you like to see him maybe use his physical attributes a little bit more? That was a lot of talk heading into the fight, being able to lean and hold on.
Yeah, he's got the height and he's got the reach and he's got the size. So it'll be awesome to see him use that a bit more.
Bit disappointing as well that it might not be for the 4 titles in the rematch. The IBF might peel away. Would that disappoint you to not see that again for the full undisputed?
There's different sanctioning bodies have different rules, but it'll be nice to see them fight for all the belts again. But you just don't know from now until then. You never know what's going to happen with the belts.
Just lastly, before I move on to something else, Usyk's a lot of talk about his body shot weakness. After having come through against Fury, Dubois, Chisora and such, do you still think the body is a weakness as people are making out?
I don't think so. I think a lot of people are looking into it and saying it's a weakness, but he hasn't been beaten. So I guess it's not really a weakness. He can take a good body shot.
Let's get your thoughts on the fights happening this weekend. 2 of your former opponents, Zhang and Wilder, fight each other this weekend in a real make or break for both of them. We don't know the path left for them if either finds himself as loser. Who are you favouring in the fight?
Both guys can bang, but I will have to favour. I mean, Zhang performed a lot better against myself than Wilder did, but for some reason I'm leaning towards Wilder.
From the fights you had with both of them, which one hit you the hardest?
Zhang dropped me twice, but I did feel, I felt Wilder's power, but nothing really landed clean.
When you say you felt Wilder's power, and look, you'd be blocking punches, like you said, nothing really landed clean. Was it what you thought it was heading into it?
I just knew, with that fight, I had to be perfect for every second, every minute of every round, and I did catch a few on the gloves, but I was just thankful that my hands were up because I don't want to catch any of that in the face. What
is it that makes you lean towards Wilder? Is it the fact that he has that one punch power you feel that it can land any time?
One punch power, but also say conditioning. I think Wilder will be more conditioned, and Zhang slows down, and I feel like Wilder can line him up with the right hand. He doesn't move a lot. He doesn't move as much as I did, or I do.
And Dubois versus Hrgovic, who are you leaning towards in that one?
Leaning towards, a little bit more towards Hrgovic in that fight.
Why for Hrgovic?
Just feel like he's got the experience, and it's a close to 50-50 fight, but I feel like with Hrgovic's size and reach, and I think he can cause, trouble and problems for Dubois, but you can't count him out. In this last fight, he showed heart, and he showed the dog on him when times got hard in that fight with Miller.
Joe, for the winner of Wilder versus Zhang, would you happy to fight them again in the rematch?
I'll fight anyone. If that's the fight that's in front of me, I'll fight anyone.
And is it still about looking to claim one of the titles for you? Are you just happy to be in the mix and be in the big fights? Or are you looking for that world title again?
Listen, I'd love to fight for the championship of the world, but just taking the right steps to get there.